Ferret on Alarmcopter's server of Joyous Win.
Hello.
And today we're on the ever infamous or ever popular Steel, depending on who you talk to. Now the thing is, personally with Steel, I love this map for the flank routes and all that kind of stuff. Now, people don't tend to like it. There's been a lot of criticism and controversy about Steel being a league game, but you know, for me, it really actually does require good teamwork, and that's why I quite like it.
This as well is one of the few maps where I'd say I actually prefer it playing defensive as opposed to attacking. Normally, if you've got like a payload game, you know, playing on red is kind of a bit boring, but this is a really fun map for defending on. So hopefully, first time round, red might be able to do some fun little things. And considering they've got Shaggy there, I'm sure they aren't going to have a difficult time of getting some amazing kills out there.
Well, the thing is, personally, with Steel, I mean, yeah, it's a lovely fun map for defenders. And as we see, who's that? Conviboon there with the backburner. Oh no, Lazy Mole. Lazy Mole there with the backburner. Oh, okay, I'm expecting great things from him. Because I personally play Backburner Pyro on this map, and I've been commented on my how the fuck did you get their skills. But anyway, door's open. Conviboon there trying to get up the hill with Shaggy. Oh, unlucky, just completely wrecked up there. They were trying to move up, but red team was all over that. The thing I do find with this map though, A is actually a reasonably defensible point actually. It's actually quite easy to defend, but you can go over it if blue team moves pretty quickly.
Yeah, it's actually, I'd say it's definitely one of the harder ones to attack. Generally, if you find that A goes, B and C are pretty much given. C pretty much kind of, I think, just gets forgotten about purely because it's kind of difficult to get to, and most people, if it's their first, second time playing, they don't actually know where they are. So C just gets ignored generally by red team, and if A goes, it's usually a good sign that at least the first half of the game is going to be quite easy for blue, but they do look like they're actually playing the other kind of game.
The E game. Now, from the looks of it, Bramovic there is a little bit lost. This is the other problem sometimes with Steel. We tend to get lost sometimes and not sure where they're supposed to be going. But, that's a good diversion there from E. Now, this is part of the trick with A. If you put enough attention on E for a while and move into A, do it at the same time actually, you can maybe cause the enemy to become unbalanced. Oh, and Shaggy's there. Oh no, it's not looking good. There's E again though. Ubered straight out. It's like, nope, back in the hole, back in the hole. But this is the thing though. I mean, blue are playing a nice game here, but they're kind of min-maxing it too hard. They're sending way too many guys over to E, and we're seeing heavies now just running over to E as well. It's like, heavy can't really do much. They can't cap. They can defend the area of sorts, but they can't really do anything. You ideally want non-jumpy classes going for A, while the jumpy ones go for E. Split red two ways, and red's got to do a guessing game of how much force they need in either point. Yeah,
generally I tend to find if you are kind of like dead set at playing a full-on let's just go for E game, then everybody always like defaults to go in a scout. But to be honest, I tend to find that something like a detonator or a scorch shot pyro works a little bit better, just because one of the main things to try and stop you from capping that point is going to be explosive weapons. And, if you can jump over there with a little bit of a scorch shot jump or something, then, you've got 200 ammo in reserve to blast away tons of rockets. If you can get other guys on your side then that's a good option. But there's two scouts, they can't really do a whole lot if you just jump on the point and get killed like a minute after.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's what the point of the E game is. You gotta tease it. You gotta make it so they doubt what's happening on E, and they will doubt the team. It's a lovely psychological game. This. It's like, oh, is E gonna go? I'm not sure what my team's doing. Do I go back for E and leave A unguarded? That kind of feeling. But this is the thing. Unfortunately, Blue's not usually. I don't know. They've not managed to get past A at all. Really. They're having quite a bit of problems here, but okay, something is happening. Yeah, somebody's confusing point A right now. I mean, there's Rabbit Collie playing Pyro today. Oh, okay, A's getting his groove on. Now this is where blue needs to get in for the kill. Use that advanced respawn time. Just try and move up.
Yeah, see, I think the problem really is the fact that, when we switched over to look at E, that sort of vague attempt on E from Blue earlier on, they were throwing quite a lot of guys there, and, Red had a hard time defending it, but they, at that point, they only really had to worry about E just because of the fact that all of Blue had decided that E was the thing to attack. At that point, they could have quite easily taken A and, been on to B, probably C by now, but they didn't take that chance, sadly.
Now that's the thing, is gauging your force in the right place at the right time. And look at that though, that was a one nice Crockett there, pretty much destroyed that entire attempt on E. The thing I am seeing here is though, there's one critically bad thing. I did see one before on Blue. Well no, there is one, it's Captain Unicorn. But that's the thing, I think that's why Red's got the edge somewhat and Blue doesn't. And, Blue needs more of those types really when they're pushing. I mean, it's a pretty much open and shut case of, the team really isn't surviving long enough in the field. Davey pretty much invoking the move, bitch prerogative. But look at this ain't good. Error's already up to the Blue spawn doors. 36 seconds. Are we going to see a pub push? I don't know what's going to happen from here.
The control point has been contested. Mission ends in 30 seconds.
Okay, I think we've got one last best hope for peace coming up.
Our control point is being captured.
All the scouts on the point. This is looking grim. Oh, that was a nice stab from Camudoc just on that spy. This is not looking good for Blue team. I think Red have this on point A. This was one of those pretty much lockout games. Although saying that, oh, overtime. All the hurf, all the desperation, and pretty much just Red Team All-Stars just move in there and muscle it out. Where's the short circuit when you need it? And that was a shutout game there from Red. Nicely done. Round 2. Let's see what happens if we get the defending team and throw them at Red Team. Now, again, as we said, one of the things to keep in mind, how much force you send into E and how much you send into A. Because here's the thing, you need A to get the time up. If you get like 5 minutes on the clock, start steal, you're good. You actually offer a flying start. If you don't get A though,
yeah, problem with A there, and especially like you can kind of see it right at that last attempt. It's a very, very slow point to cap, but it drains very quickly. So, and same with E actually. You kind of have to stay on it for the entire cap, because if you go on there, make half a cap and die, by the time anybody gets there again, they'll have to start it all over. And Blue definitely had like a good approach. It was just sort of slightly poor execution. I think that was the main problem, really.
Yeah, that's why I say it's a great team game. You really have to, keep an eye on that. Doors open, Uber out. And another Uber. Okay. I'm not seeing a most valiant effort here from Blue so far. Unsure what is going on for the time being. Although they are generally getting their move on though.
The final control point is being contested.
Ah, I think I know what's happening. Okay. I see where this is going. And, oh, that's some lovely trolling right there. Denny Tim with Cerno making sure they can't get out of the door. And that taunt kill ain't going to work for you. And this is the thing, as you said, man, I mean, that is going down fast.
Yeah, that was definitely a better attempt than last time, but yeah, the problem was it Denny Tim, I think, tried to go for the taunt kill, and yeah, that's not going to happen.
Yeah, no, that was like way, way too early in the game for a taunt kill. That was maybe from the last bit of the cap, but even then I wouldn't do it. If you're going to go for an E game, that's a prestige win right there. You took E straight away. But I'm loving those stickies though. Oh no! This is where you see in some older games, you see like defenders on B already. They usually do that for that reason.
See now though, Blue have got they've got a nice situation because, you know, it's kind of like Red have to really, really work hard to try and work out which area to defend more.
Yep. Oh, that's that was not great there for that Cammy Doc. Like, yeah, it's only an engineer, it should be fine. And then, you know, it turns out to be a Pyro after. Oh, wait, no, this is all wrong. But look at this, though. Half capping E, half capping A, and
Control point is being captured.
Blue are putting on the pressure, but they're not getting results so far. No, so they're not getting results, but they kind of are. This is where, you know, I think a good old-fashioned just uber push on A would have done it, mostly. No, that's what's going on.
The control point
Yeah, now the problem is right now is that, you know, Blue team have pretty much alerted Red team, and they're now just really keeping an eye on that E point, and it's not entirely working as well as it used to.
Yeah, really, to be honest, the E tactic, like I said, it only really works if you've got more than one kind of class on there, because, I mean, so far they've been sort of attempted pretty much with just soldiers. It only really works if you've got, like, a few guys of different classes on there so that they can all, you know, offer something different. You know, it would be nice if you could also, if you wanted to make a proper E attempt, have a sniper up, just because, you know, not necessarily on the point, but just to keep everybody from, you know, doing anything long range damage wise on the point. But yeah, the problem is both of these E attempts from both teams have been very single class based.
The other thing is actually, now here's the thing. You guys may have seen me play a bit of Steel and Nutkits, some of my shenanigans with Engineer. There is a way to E last point with Engineer, and, you know, getting a teleport up in the right place with the Sentry, that helps a lot. If you get enough guys there all the time with the teleporter, you can really push that E quite nicely. But right now I think it's all on A. 2 minutes on the clock, and I think Blue aren't going to basically play the gambling game too much longer. Oh wow! Look at the kill feed. Yeah, I think Blue pretty much came up on free parking, and that's A down.
The final control point is being contested.
Now the question is here: how well does Blue team know how the map works? Because the A from E door is opening,
Control
right?
point is being contested.
Everything else coming the back way. Now that's the thing; you can get to E from there now. But what's happening on B?
As well as that, actually, I'm wondering if they do cap B, are they going to go for the slow door for C or run around? Because it would actually be quicker for half of them to run around.
Well, in any case, we'll get back to the main commentary. This is the thing. Still, the secret to discussions going on. Stuff happens. But here's the thing, not now though. A got their Blue got their blitz on, took on A, and then went straight to B. Now this is the thing. I think with people with Steel, it's one of those games where you have to have split-second game awareness reaction times. And that was the case there where Red team kind of forgot to go for B a little. Maybe they did, maybe they didn't. I don't know.
Yeah, I think as well, like we've sort of said, the map is a tad confusing for players who haven't been on it a lot. But to be honest, from the looks of what Blue are doing, they really do seem to know how it works, because most of them have gone for, at least the route that I would personally take, a lot of the guys have gone that way to attack for C, and they're doing a really nice job of massing up as well, and Red are kind of not anywhere, so this looks like it could be quite a quick C as well.
Possibly. Oh, that was a lovely stab there from Bramovic there. Nice jump, turn, stab that guy. The thing is, though, I mean, the other thing is people get used to the second spawn, and then they've got to try and get used to where everything is, and then they've got to they're going to try and find their way to E. There's a lot in this map. But all the Ubers at the moment, it's just like Uber after Uber, another Uber, more Uber here. Unlucky, not enough stab attempts, but, you know, C isn't going down quickly, though. It's taking a while. Oh, that could have been an epic kill there, but he bashed him to the hitting with the sword.
Yeah, see, the thing is, Red are doing a really nice job of trying to defend, but they are just sending one guy at a time, like as and when they spawn, they're coming out and getting killed because there's like 3 soldiers there ready to hit them.
Altor BG Sentry is in the wrong place right now. Altor, I think you had you put your sentry almost in the wrong place. I mean, lovely setup, but it's so vulnerable. Oh god, no. that was back building and just, oh no, you put it in the wrong place.
The control point is being captured.
But here's the thing though. Oh, see you later, Alpha Zero. Thing is, I find though, D is usually where the game is at. If D gets taken, the game is almost usually a win for the blue team.
Yeah, that said though, I mean, lately on this map, I have seen a lot of teams doing actually what Blue attempted to do there, where they completely ignore D, and I mean, in fairness, as you're going from C, there are more easy routes to get straight to E than there are to D. But I have seen recently, like, a lot of teams just seem to forget about D completely, and then just assume that it is now a game for E. I think it's mainly just because the walkways are up, and there's no real reason not to try and attack it, because everybody can do now.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, I think a lot of people go for that bait, but then the thing that I kind of forget is, though, a lot about Steel as well is what happens when you take certain points. And this one, taking point D, puts up the guide rails, which is nice, so you fall off less, and shuts the direct access from D. So that means if a blue team defends D, red team can't get to E unless they have to go around C way. And again, if you defend it from C and D, it's really easy to cap. Saying that right now, look at everyone E. Oh, look at all the spam. I was just like, nope. Oh, look at that E timer go down. That was built up so much. It's slipping away.
See, that's how Red should have been defending the entire time, by throwing everybody at the point in one go, because, you know, you've got so many areas to attack from onto a single point. You know, you only have to aim, like, you know, maybe 5 or 6 stickies and you can kill a good, like, 7 or 8 guys.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's why I was trying to defend away from the point when I'm playing on a blue team. Like, no, let somebody else cap, and let's try to keep them away from E, because it's just, you know, sitting duck territory. I mean, was once I nearly lost the game. I went lock and load Demo Man, didn't get the crit, but 2 shots on the point practically killed everyone anyway. That's the difficulty, standing on a point that exposed. But right now, 5 minutes on the clock, and Red are managing to pull this game back. But as you say though, you know, that's the thing with point C. It's one of those points that just tends to go down so quickly and so hard.
Yeah, and I mean, with C as well, it kind of opens up this entire side of the map for Blue, because then they've got the entire route from the right side of their spawn all the way through B, all the way through C. It pretty much doesn't get visited by Red at all then. And this is some nice attacking work as well now.
Yeah, that was just a massive surprise attack. Blue just glomped at the point. Red just went in there at all. And that has possibly cost Red the game. There's now 3 more minutes on the clock here for Blue. They've already got time to throw on the last point, and Red needs to get around them. Now, one little trick I do like is, if you come from the C side, go from the underpassage, fire up from underneath. People don't look down so much. And occasionally get a couple of nades in there, you can win this. And look at it right now, look at that. Look at Uber, that's lovely Uber work. Just get in there and block them off. And yeah, that was won quite nicely.